I'm Thomas Obrist, and I work as a trainee for Axpo. My bachelor I've studied at ETH in Zurich. I studied in mathematics, and then I did an internship at KPMG as a consultant during a gap year between bachelor and masters. And for my masters, I studied again at ETH. I did the quantitative finance program, which is a joint master degree between ETH and UZH. I was mostly interested, as you can see through my path, that I was most interested in finance and probability theory and statistics. And at the end of my studies, I focused a lot of deep learning, machine learning, and programming, and see how I can use this to write financial applications. My master thesis was deep portfolio optimization, where I used deep learning to optimize a portfolio of different cryptocurrencies. I think trading itself is a really competitive environment, and I really like this. So you get really fast results and fast returns if your decisions are good or not. And this really impacts every day. So I think it's not like that you create a topic and you just leave it. I developed a prop trading strategy in my first stage, and you have to monitor and keep at it after even finishing and developing the strategy. You cannot just leave it and run it. So it's really a challenging environment, and it's always changing. No day is the same as the day before, and especially in short-term trading. And this is kind of really interesting, what's happening. How I joined Axpo, or the trading environment, was I joined last year the hackathon at Axpo, where I was able to see what kind of tasks are there at Axpo, and what I could do and how I could impact the work here. Axpo sponsors the Quantitative Finance Master at ETH, so Domenico De Luca hold the presentation in front of us. As well, a really good friend of mine from my bachelor studies joined Axpo. And third, I joined the hackathon. And at the same time I joined the hackathon last year, I applied for the traineeship, and directly the day after the hackathon I had my interview. The hackathon itself works like this. It's a 3-day program. At the first day you get there, it was in the Lindlimmern, it's a power plantage of Axpo, and there's really in the nowhere, so perfect for programming. And then you get an introduction into the problem. I had no idea about energy markets, so I got an introduction into the energy market and how it works, and then you get a data set, and then you have 3 days time to do something. The best team, which was the best team by the score last year, they won a prize, like every hackathon, and that's it basically. The model itself, I was able to choose and try to find some patterns. Of course, my experience with my master thesis and the lectures I took at ETH was an advantage. Last year I joined the hackathon as a student. We did a forecast for imbalanced volumes. So perhaps you know that in the energy market, the load which we supply and the load which our customers take from the market needs to be balanced, needs to be always the same, since energy is produced and consumed at the same time. So if you are not producing enough or too much, you will get punished. So you need to kind of have a view what's happening in the future and near-term future. So we did last year a 4-hour forecast in which direction the whole country of Switzerland will be. Will it have too much energy or too less energy? And because if you are kind of the wrong side, you will get punished more. For example, I don't know about Switzerland, a good example, but for example in Belgium, last year on the 16th November there was a nuclear power outage. What happened was that the prices spiked for the imbalance prices spiked to 1,000 euros. So people who had too less energy at this moment to supply their customers needed to buy from this secondary market energy for 1,000 euro per megawatt hour. Usually, the spot price I think was then around 50 euros per megawatt hour. So you can see this was kind of a huge deal if the prices spike like this. So we did a forecast for Switzerland last year to predict something like this, or try to predict the direction of something like this, that we are prepared in advance. I did an Austrian spot price forecast. It's a kind of different market, but What you could do is it's a day ahead market. So I made a forecast today to see what are the prices for tomorrow, and there's a special market opening in the 11. If you know the prices of this market before, you can buy or sell now, and buy again or sell afterwards your position, and make some money during the 2 hours you are looking at this different market spreads. I really like to use Julia, which is kind of a mix between MATLAB and Python. I get a lot of data from the Axpo. I use SQL queries to get the data from the databases, and then I analyze the data and prepare a strategy. Now I'm in my second stage for origination, so my daily tasks shift a lot. In my first stage, the daily basis was kind of in the morning before the market opens. I need to prepare the data, clean everything, and see that everything is there. If necessary. Normally I programmed everything that it should be done by itself, but there might be an error and I need to take care of this. And afterwards, in the afternoon, basically, there I will develop new strategies, analyze new markets, and find new patterns to make some money off. Now with origination, it's a different task. Origination is a business which has long-term clients like retail clients. For example, a cookie factory we deliver energy to, and they don't need to care about market conditions. We take care of for them. And there I analyze risk tools, so it's a really different kind of work I do. And this variety, I really like this variety which I'm able of to work in. Actually, there are several classes, especially one which will prepare you perfectly for Axpo is the class from Gaudens, Köppel. He works as a lecturer at ETH, and he works as well for Axpo. And his lecture teaches you everything about energy markets and what you kind of need to know. If you want to do more like the strategies, then of course ETH lectures like deep learning, machine learning, or lectures like this at the informatics departments are probably the most interesting ones. But of course, Axpo doesn't search for kind of skills you have already. Axpo searches for people who have analytical skills and have the right mindset and want to learn more and enlarge their knowledge. I think I learned a lot at my master thesis, during my master thesis, where I did this portfolio optimization, where I was able to analyze time series and use this kind of information which I've learned there, and was able to take this what I've learned and applied it to my job now. Overall, I think ETH prepared me to be able to have analytical thinking and numerical skills, and kind of course, all the lectures about machine learning, deep learning gave me the tools to implement a strategy. One of the highlights in my first stage was kind of that after 3 months, my prop trading strategy went to the market. So Axpo trusted really fast into me that I can deliver something which can create money. And they put money into the strategy really fast, and you get really, every hour I get a return or not, depending how it goes. And this is kind of a highlight that you always get the feedback, an instantaneous feedback if you're doing a good job or not. This was kind of a highlight for me. Now for origination, I have the chance to travel. Axpo is in over 28 countries. There are different hubs, and in origination we are kind of in all of them making deals. And I have the chance now to visit a lot of them for my work. Until now I was in Leipzig office, I was in Madrid office last week. So I have the chance to travel around, and I will go to Brussels soon. I think this is kind of a nice environment and a cool experience to go into different countries. It's not for visiting the town, but you see a little of different varieties and different life cultures.